Welcome back, traders. Second portion of our show, Market Movers. Let's start with Hewlett-Packard. Dennis, see the stock trading a little bit down in the pre-market.
Yeah, HPQ trading down 26.5, so down 36 cents on their earnings. A little better than the last earnings report where the stock really got killed. The stock actually initially popped after hours when it announced earnings last night. It was trading up over $1, was up over 27.5. Then, they said, they're going to make around $4. The estimates were up there around $4.50 to $4.80. So it was a little light for next year. But if you think about that, Joel, the stock's still going to make $4. And it's trading at $26. It's got some value still there. This is a value investor stock now as opposed to a growth stock. You wonder, if, you're a longer term trader, if you could do a buy, write, write the calls on it or something, covered calls. If you would have did that going into the earnings report, there was some really nice, premium there because I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect from this earnings report. Obviously, after the earnings report, some of the premium comes out of the options, so we'll have to look at where those calls open today. But for longer-term investors or traders that are listening to the show, sometimes those are your best trades is, buy the stock that's got some pretty good value. It's got an okay dividend at 1.7%. And, write an upside call or write an at-the-money call. And, and if you keep rolling them, you write 3 months out and you roll those 3 or 4 times a year, you can get some pretty nice income off of a stock.
Right, unless it drops like $10 out of nowhere, which,
then that hurts.
First, speaking, fundamentally here on the stock, which, we don't do very often on this show, I just think that, the street is looking at, what is the future of the PC? It's, people with their iPads and iTouches and, all these things that are coming out. How many people are really going out there and buying boxes? Besides, large companies, that need the capacity, they're probably just looking at that $4. They just think the street's probably going to be guiding them lower and lower, just because there's not nearly many, there's other alternatives for people. But turning to technical, which, we like to focus more on here, really trying to hold this $26 level, Dennis. I see it did touch under in the pre-market, but looking on the daily, this 26 and a quarter to 26.31 is real good support. Like I said, we did hit $26 even in the pre-market. I think you still got to be leaning a little bit to the long side on this thing as long as we hold this 26 level. If not that, we could be looking to test, at least a 25 level or lower. Coming back on the upside, of course you got to keep an eye on, settlement here at 26.86.
Yeah, I think you make an excellent point, though, Joel, just from the fundamentals, just taking it back to that, is you're right. Everybody's starting to do stuff with their tablets, their iPhones, there's just computers everywhere. Do you really need a box? So I think you're right. I think that's probably why, the multiple is so low. It's just a matter of whether, they can continue to sustain if there's enough people that need boxes out there still or not. So that's something to think about. So nothing comes without risk. So, if you are doing anything of a covered rate or something like that, just remember there is always risk. So, and I think you made a really good point on that too, Joel. Might as well talk about Netflix, man. It seems like every time there's news in this thing, it's never good. They're coming out. They need to raise more capital. They're selling another $200 million worth of stock at $70 a share. They're selling some convertible bonds. So, another $200 million. So they're raising a total of $400 million here. Stock is getting killed on this. It's down $4 more, making new 52-week lows. I think you just got to stay away if you're long. What do you think, Joel?
Well, the fact that this stock is taken out the low, of the move is pretty impressive here. That it's crashed down through that 73.26 level, so that's going to serve as a real good resistance. Of course, here, going back to the monthlies here, I believe we talked about this 65, 62 level. That was a low back in March of 2010. I'm sure there could be some stopping points on the way. Raising $400 million by selling, that doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, Dennis.
Yeah, but the stock here, you're talking a market cap of, $4 billion, so $400 million dilutes it by 10%. So, if you think you're diluting the equity by 10%, a lot of times what you got to remember, those secondary offerings, it's a private secondary offering there, but the price is $70. A lot of times those prices act like a magnet, and it's acting like a magnet right now because the stock is actually, as I'm talking, it was just trading at 70 exactly, 70.05. So I wouldn't be surprised if that number does act like a magnet here, even for the next few days. So, we've talked about, magnets and tractor beams and stuff and even on the education, link on our site. So you can check that out if you want to see a little bit more of it. But wouldn't surprise me if this thing actually did hang around the $70 price for a few days as it gets its bearings there, Joel.
Okay, it has to get above 73.26 in order to, get back to any kind of recovery mode.
Other stocks we do have moving is Medtronic, which is MDT, the medical parts maker here. I think that's what it is anyways. Medical parts maker trading $34.50 after closing at $33.27. So getting a decent lift on the earnings. Looking at this chart, it looked like it was ready to break down there yesterday, but the earnings are going to maybe stop that at least for briefly here. What do you think on the Medtronic chart, Joel?
I do use some of their products. They do make some pretty good diabetes products. They're awful expensive, so I'm not sure everyone's insurance could afford them. But this is really just kind of a range-bound stock. It's been like that for a long time. You have a double top here at 34.26 to 34.33. We've popped up to 34.50 in the pre-market. Boy, you just got to think that, some sellers, some people that missed that opportunity to sell it there, the last 2 days will be there. And correct, Dennis, it looked like it was about to break down through this 33.11 area and get crushed. But, if you want to play the momentum up to the upside. But if this stock, dips below 34.33, 34.30 area, I'd have to reconsider that long position.
Here's one for you again. It's going to be your disaster stock of the day, FRO, which is Frontline. Stock is trading $3.16 after reporting their numbers, closed at $5.19. So this shipper stock, obviously they're not doing very much shipping because, the stock is making new 52-week lows here again. The old 52-week low was $3.88. If the stock was to rally up to that area, I think you'd find some major sellers up there just looking to sneak out. Buying this thing, maybe you find some support at a big $3 psychological number, but wow, I don't know if I want to be a buyer. What do you think, Joel?
Yeah, this stock is sinking, huh? What are they? Do they not have any earnings, or what happened? One of their ships
couldn't have been too good. Yeah, it couldn't have been too good.
Okay, the only thing I can give you guys who like to trade the lower price stocks, is this 290 to 299 level. We've hit this a few times in the pre-market. Been associated with pretty good volume. The monthlies don't even tell me anything in this stock because we haven't. Well, here, let's go look to 2002, and the stock had a low at 283. So, if you want to make a stand, make it from 283 to 290. People have been short this stock since 2003 are being rewarded today.
Yeah, actually, I just read you this. This is from Market Watch. Tuesday, Frontline said there are significant uncertainties regarding its ability to comply with certain financial covenants at the end of the fourth quarter, adding it will likely need additional funding in the first part of 2012 to meet its cash obligations. That is not a good sentence, folks. That is just not a good sentence. If you're looking at this as a cheap stock to buy, think again. I think the stock can get a heck of a lot cheaper. When I read a sentence like that, I basically say go away if you're thinking about buying the stock. Think about buying something else, because that is not a good sentence. That is a scary sentence for an investor.
And they probably spruced it up to make it sound better.
Yeah, it didn't sound that good. It was a pretty ugly sentence, so they did spruce it up a little bit. So, don't like that sentence. Let's move on here. Better things to talk about, Joel. Marriott is spinning off their one of their little vacation companies or something. It's going to trade under VAC, Marriott Vacations Worldwide. That's going to start trading today. So shareholders get a little piece of that, which is why the stock is looking like it's trading down $1.50. But I think it's just trading around that value for that spin-off. 28.72 is where it's trading right now after closing at 30.22. What do you think on a technical analysis basis on MAR, Joel?
Well, it's very hard with, because you're taking that, like you say, it's not really down $1.50. It looked like you had a breakdown, real good support with the $29 area, so that should act as resistance now. I do see some support coming in at the $28 level. $28.65 was the low on October 10th. So this is a kind of a hard one to judge because I'm not really sure what the value of that VAC is.
We've got ZLC, which is Zale Corporation. That's Z as in zebra. It's actually just bid up, but it had earnings there last night. It was trading up, actually, almost to $4 there last night. $3.70, so it looks like it is probably going to open higher. The $4 looks huge on me to this, so I'd expect, some sellers in the $3.90s. Maybe it finds resistance there. What do you think on ZLC, Joel?
Yeah, well, someone had a lid on this thing at 375, and we've popped above there. 4 has been really tough to get through too. So this probably is going to open up into resistance if it breaks above that $4 level. You got a little bit of room in this thing up to 428, but that'd be a pretty big move for this stock. Is that what do they do? Is that the Diamond Company?
$3 stock. You throw me under the bus always here with the fundamental stuff. I'm a technical trader. Well, let's go see what they do. Apparel retailer. So
I was wrong.
One of those.
Another retailer.
I don't think I own any Zale Corp unless they sell them under a different product. So I don't know if I own any Zale Corporation clothing, but I don't. So
I don't know if they have any Canadian outlets.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen any Zale stores over here, so.
Okay.
Anyways.
What else you have for
Analog
us?
Devices, ADI, had earnings there last night as well. It's trading up over $1, or it was trading up over $1. It's pulling back in a little bit here now, with probably the market sell-off as we're down 5 in the SPOOs. 34.87 after closing at 34.34. So that's where the best offer is. So stock might open up a little bit, although the offers keep drifting down. You wonder if it is going to open up. What do you think technically, though, Joel?
Yeah, yesterday's high, 34.97. I see we got a trade above that level. So if you want to play the momentum to the long side, you can try buying it, holding on at that 35 level. The 2-day high at 35.94 seems quite a ways away here. If we can't hold that 35 level, I could get a test of the close here at 34.34.
That's all I really have for you today. Obviously, we have a lot of stocks moving. We were up 5 when I came in this morning. We're down 5 now, so we've had a pretty good sell-off. I don't know what to say. Stocks still look like they're overall going into sell-off mode, and we just can't seem to hold a rally. What do you think, Joel?
I think the GDP was a little bit disappointing. We came down off that. As I said in the earlier show, didn't really see much support at that 1185 levels, and we've taken that out. Let's see. We're going to creep down to yesterday's low, Dennis, at 1180.50. Perhaps get a little bounce off that. But if that 1180.50 does not hold, Dennis, we're in trouble today. We could be trading down to our daily target at 1170.25, or as low as the October 10th low of 1156.5. That's our show for today, folks. We'll be back with you tomorrow.